So, in today's video, I thought I'd give it a go and talk a bit about the accidents I've either witnessed or been involved in. One I can't go into too much detail about because it is still ongoing. I'll give you a little idea of what happened, but I'm not going to go into massive detail about it just because I don't want to get this video found and me fucked up for whatever reason. But we'll start from the beginning. So the first incident I was ever in wasn't really much of an incident. Well, I've been riding my old YZF R125. Been riding, must have been about a month, maybe two, not long at all. I was on my way home from a friend's. It wasn't late, but it was I think it was quite cold. And oh wait, just quickly before I carry on, another reason I'm out today is my dad and stepmom they've been training for triathlons and they're out on the bikes today, just over there actually, and I thought I'd try and get them on film for a bit, so we'll do a bit of that. But anyway, back to the story. Yeah, I come up to a set of lights and it's a really dodgy junction. I mean, if you know what, but to be fair, England in general is just full of dodgy junctions. There they are. The old pedallers on their pedal power, looking like they're having loads of fun. Yeah, so coming excuse me, coming up to a junction. Well, it's a big set of lights, and then there's a big like box junction, loads of lights going each and every way. It's a right, but I was going right at this junction, and then there's another set of lights. It's a pedestrian crossing, but there's lights there, so they only change when someone's going to cross. But so I was turning right, and I was quite a new rider. So I was following traffic round, and the person in front of me, I think the only thing I'd done wrong at this point was I was a bit too close to him. I think maybe a bit too close to him. But anyway, they slammed their brakes on in front of me, like really suddenly. But then I realised because there was a red light, but they hadn't seen. So they slammed their brakes on, and then there's me thinking, oh shit, he slammed their brakes on, I don't want to get onto the back of them. I could have, looking back at it, I could have just swerved around him. I had more than enough time, but I was a very new biker. So I then slammed my front brake on, thinking I'll be fine, I'll stop. But being a new bike, me not being used to the brakes and anything like that, I didn't go over the handlebars, almost went over the handlebars. I went a bit over to the side and pretty much just dropped the bike, to be honest, I'm not going to lie. It was a pretty feeble accident. There was no damage to the bike at all actually, which I think like one tiny scratch, but that was it, which I was very happy about. But that was my first accident, and I called my dad all scared and worried, and he came and helped me out, rode the bike back because I was too scared to, because obviously new rider, bit of a pussy when you have your first accident. If I had an accident, if you haven't, you're lucky. I've had a few. Anyway, I don't actually know where I'm going, to be honest. I've just kind of been following them. I know the route they're taking, but I don't want to go too far. So we'll just sit here and talk for a minute. So the second accident I ever had was a bit worse. It's when I used to ride to and from Twickenham every day for work. I didn't just do it for the fun of it. That isn't great. And I was still on a 125, so obviously no motorways for me. So it was an even longer ride. But it was on the way home after quite a long day's work. I'm just going to go left. Can't be asked away from. And it was absolutely pouring it down with rain, really bad. Like, I mean, you can always see some, but I mean, as bad, so it does reduce your visibility quite a lot, and everyone is, well, you'd expect everyone to be driving quite cautiously. So they came up to a bit, it's like a Parade of shops either side, set lights in the middle, and there's usually a little bit of traffic there. And I mean, every day, but on the way home from work, I'd filter through that little bit of traffic. It's really safe to. No reason you can't. So I was doing that as I usually did, and then this lovely gentleman decides to just randomly turn right into a road where you can't even enter. That's the thing that pissed me off the most. It was a road you shouldn't. Well, the Prada shops, you're meant to enter one way, come out the other. There they are again. Enter one way, come out the other. He was going the out bit, and he indicated. I'll give him that, he indicated, but he decided to indicate when I was next to him. And like most bikers, like most drivers do, they decide, oh, I'm going to indicate as I'm turning. I've never understood this, but this guy has decided, yeah, let's do that. So he then pretty much rams the side of me. So he's next to me here, hits the side of me on the side of my bike, and I just go doff right on the floor. No chance. But me being stupid, I got right back up because it was pissing it down rain. I didn't really want to stand or sit in the rain, so I got right back up. And I mean, looking back at it now, I should have stayed down, because if you stay down as a biker, this is a top tip. Doesn't matter how bad the injury is, you can be fine. You could be lovely and get right back up. Don't. If you've got any sort of pain at all, or you do go down and it wasn't your fault, just stay down. Stay down until you get some help, until someone else helps, until the ambulance comes. To be honest, it doesn't matter how bad it is, but stay down. I didn't in this case. I got back up, lifted the bike up. It was a bit scratched up this time, but still, well, I actually lost an indicator and a wing mirror as well, but still fine, nothing too bad. Yeah, I got back up, spoke to the guy, got insurance details off each other, and then nothing actually happened in the end, because there was pretty much no damage to his car. I think he realised he was a bit in the wrong. I realised I was a bit in the wrong, but I don't think I was. I probably was. Oh well. But that was, and then I was about an hour and a half drive. I mean, probably an hour's ride back from home still. So I had to then, and my dad was at work, so I didn't personally think the bike was rideable because it was a bit in a state. I think the handlebars were a bit bent. Well, I thought at the time the handlebars were a bit bent. So he came in his van, we loaded up the bike, and then we headed home. But that was a nice long wait at a lovely mechanics shop. They let me sit in there and watch TV. And just chill. I was a bit sore after that one. I did have a big bruise. It wasn't very fun, and I worried a lot of people because I was so far away. But I'm fine. I'm still riding. And then is this third? Yeah, third accident I've been in, which is the one I can't talk much about. But I'll tell you what happened, but I won't say any like where it was or anything like that. So I'll just say what I was doing and things. So I was on a round. I was following traffic. Again, I follow traffic quite a lot, but because it's England and there's fucking people everywhere. But yeah, and I was wanting to turn right at this mini roundabout. It's quite a small one, and it was still light. It was dry, starting to get a bit dark, but there was traffic on all sides of the roundabout, which isn't usually that much traffic there, but anyway. So our lane was moving through the traffic, so I obviously followed them and I was indicating right, turned right, and as I was turning right, a lovely young lady decides, oh, it's about time I got onto the roundabout, coming from the opposite direction to me, and smashed right into the side of my bike. As you can see, I always get hit from the side, knocking me down. It wasn't massively fast because it's a small roundabout. You're not going to tear our arse around it. But so turn around. Well, she hits me from the left-hand side, so it's from that side. Knocks me. Actually, I went down on the left as well, and the bike slid way to the right. This time, everyone, there was a lot of people there, so there was a lot of witnesses, and someone comes running over to me and just says, "Stay down." So that's what I did. I was then on the floor. I was in quite a bit of pain as well. I mean, probably shock, or bits of shock. My neck was in pain, and that's when the guy said, "Stay down." And then luckily for me, there was a doctor's literally on the roundabout. Well, not on the roundabout. One of the houses was a little doctor's surgery. So a few of them people came out, stayed with me, gave me reassurance. But I was on the floor for about 10 minutes before the police turned up, and about 3 police turned up. They shut the entire road, the roundabout. They were then having to direct the roundabout. Because I was pretty much laying. So you got the roundabout there. I was laying just off the roundabout in the middle of the road, and it was getting quite chilly as well. In fact, no, this was on the day before New Year's. Not New Year's, so the day before Christmas Eve. So what, the 23rd of December. So yeah, it was quite cold. So about 4 or 5 different people had laid coats on me, and I had my full gear on as well. So I had all of that on plus full gear. I remember I had an Arriva bus jacket on me because one of the people at the front of the queues was a bus driver. But I was laying on the floor for, God, what was it, 45 minutes to an hour waiting for the ambulance to get there. That's how great our ambulance service is around Watford. Let's just say that. So I was there for about that long. Girlfriend ends up there before the ambulance, and she sees me on the floor, starts crying. She thinks I'm dead. I'm just in pain, to be honest. Just not enjoying laying on the cold floor for that long. But eventually comes. This is the worst bit for me. I'm so sad about. I had this Isle of Man TT jumper, and obviously they bring out new ones each year, and I absolutely love this jumper. I wore it every day, always underneath my bike jacket when I'm riding. So obviously I had that on, and they wanted to get everything off me because the bloke that were ambulance driver thought he saw blood on the ground. It turned out just to be a bit of oil. But so they cut my jacket off of me, they cut my jumper off of me, and then they ended up cutting my jeans off of me. I was devastated. I was so annoyed. I mean, the jacket not so much about, jeans not really, but the jumper, I was not happy. But when they actually eventually got there, they did a good job. They did a really good job. Kept reassuring me. Knew exactly what they were doing, and so I mean, yeah, the response time not great, but I mean, there's shit going on all the time. So what can you do? Let's turn in here and wait for the old family. But apart from that, they've done a good job. Got to the hospital. I was then in hospital for about 7 hours. It happened quite in the evening. The accident happened in the evening, so I was then in hospital well into Christmas Eve. So that was fun. Everyone enjoyed being, or my dad, girlfriend, and sister all loved being in the hospital on Christmas Eve. Yeah, but full body X-ray. All they found was an irregular spinal thingy-majig or something in the top of my neck, but apparently it's a normal irregularity, which I don't understand. But apart from that, I'm fine. All I had was a scratch, small, well, not small, quite a sizable scratch on my hip. That's it. So it shows if you wear the gear, boys and girls, you come out fine. But yeah, that's my experiences with accidents. I hope you don't have to deal with it as well, because insurance is a fucking wanker. It sucks. It's been, well, what is it now? 2nd of July. Happened at the end of last year, so it just shows how long it takes, and it's still not finished. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.